There's something in my eye. 1 second. Hello, my Pokemon lovers. It is time for another rating of the Pokemon with me, Hilde. That is me. I'm Hilde. What's up? Last week we ended our video with the beautiful Jumpluff, who is weird but also cute. And today we're starting out with Aipom, the monkey with 5 hands. Three hands. Aipom is a monkey that has a hand as a tail. It is a very strong hand. It can lift itself up with its tail and just fly into the trees. It can also use this hand to pick fruits and be cute and just like, look, the hand on my tail. Aipom is a Pokemon that lives in the treetops. It can swing around the trees with its tail hand, and it is like a monkey, pretty much. It's like a monkey. Here's a little Pokédex fact from Pokemon Ruby. Aipom's tail ends in a hand. What? Aipom's tail ends in a hand-like appendage that can be cleverly manipulated. However, because the Pokemon used its tail so much, its hands have become rather clumsy. I mean, that makes sense, but come on, Aipom. If you train your hands a little bit more, you can both punch opponents with your hands and your tail. You'll have 3 fists, motherfucker. Why would you let your hands get that way? Come on, 3 out of 5. Number 191 is Suncan. Now, Suncan is, apparently, I didn't know this, is a really useless Pokemon. It cannot do shit. If you thought it could do shit, you were wrong, because fucking Suncan cannot do shit. It is literally a seed. It's a seed. It doesn't do anything. The only thing Suncan can do is roll around a little bit and drink some sap or water from underneath some plants and grow and get some nutrients inside it so it can get ready for evolution. If a Suncan is attacked, it will shake its leaves at the attacker just to scare it a little bit or something. It's not very intimidating. A weird thing about Suncan is that it sometimes randomly falls out of the sky. And no one knows why, and what has it been attached to the entire time? It just falls out of the sky, like it's no one's business or something. So that is weird. Suncan is, as you may have guessed, based on a sunflower seed that is, what do you call that? That is a shooting sunflower seed. That is pretty much what it is. That is what it is. Have you seen a sunflower seed? It is this tiny. It's this tiny. Is that how tiny Suncan is? 2 out of 5. If you expose Suncan to a sunstone, it will evolve into Sunflora, which is basically a plant. I was trying to find some information on Sunflora, and all I found was how to maintain it. Because it's literally a flower. It's a flower. Sunflora needs occasional water and sunlight, and when the sun sets, it will close its leaves. As I said, it is like a flower. I don't know what it does. It has these tiny, punchy leaves. Maybe it can slap you with that. Pollen. Sunflora converts sunlight into nutrition, which is why it always faces the sun like actual sunflowers. Yes, Sunflora is a sunflower. Did I already say that? Because it is definitely a sunflower, nothing else. Here's a fun fact about Sunflora. It is the most used disguise by Meowth in the anime. Meowth just really wants to be a pretty flower, guys. God. 3 out of 5. Number 193 is Yanma. Yanma is a dragonfly Pokemon, and Yanma terrifies the hell out of me. It is like this big. It is this big. That is huge. That is a huge fucking dragonfly. Why do you exist? Please. Yama is a really good flyer, and if it flaps its wings really fast, it can break windows. Here's a fun Pokédex fact about Yama. From Pokemon Silver, its large eyes can scan 360 degrees. It looks in all directions to seek out insects as its prey. Its eyes can see 360 degrees. Why? Oh god, why? A fun fact about Yanma, also quite terrifying, is that it weighs the same as the male character in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Now that is also terrifying. It's not only a huge fucking bug, but it's also really fucking heavy. I don't want to ever cross a Yanma in my life. I'm gonna leave it out of my living decks. it will come nowhere near me ever. No, 2 out of 5. Then number 194 is Wooper, one of the cutest fucking tiny little fucking cuties. Wooper is a water and ground Pokemon, which is a thing I personally think is great because of the electric thing, the electric advantage and stuff. Like electric type cannot hurt it, which is great. I like that. I always get wrecked by electric type Pokemon because I am a water trainer mostly. I like water Pokemon a lot. Apparently in the anime, Wooper is supposed to be dull-witted and kind of dumb, kind of silly. I love dumb Pokemon, it's great. I love them. Wooper is obviously derived from the axolotl, which is one of the greatest sea creatures there exist. Have you ever seen an axolotl? Because you should. You should look at them. Look at them. Look at them! When Wooper sleeps, it will bury itself into the mud on the river floor bed and just chill there while it sleeps. It makes a little blanket out of sand. Aww. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire says, Wooper usually lives in water, however, it occasionally comes out onto land in search of food. On land, it coats its body with a gooey, toxic film. That is gross. It's like a toad. I think toads do that, I'm not actually sure. Do they? They may do that, I don't know. The word gooey does not appeal to me. Also, if you touch this gooey film on Wooper's body, it will hurt a lot. It will hurt, which is not a very pleasing thought, to be honest. But it's cute, so it's fine. Wooper's name comes from the word Wooper-looper, which is the Japanese term for axolotl, and I think it's adorable. Wooper-looper. Kind of sounds like it's cereal of some sorts. 4 out of 5. Wooper then evolves into Quagsire, which is a great Quagsire. It's one of those derpy Pokemon that I love. A fun thing about Quagsire is that it's very dull, like it's like goofy. It's just chillin'. It is carefree and sluggish, and when it swims, it will occasionally bump its head into boats and rocks and not care. It will just keep on swimming. It's great. I love it. Quagsire will lay in the water with its mouth open, just waiting for a prey to go into its mouth. It's just chilling. It doesn't really move a lot, so it doesn't really need a lot of food. I mean, it seems like a great life to me. A fun thing about Quagsire is that the Pokédex states that it lives in fresh, clean, and drinkable water, but in the Pokemon games it actually lives in swamps and marshy areas, which is kind of a weird contradiction, but you know, Pokemon often has weird contradictions. It's what makes it great, right? Fun German fact, the German name for Quagsire is Moorlord, which comes from moor, which is some type of watery thing, and Lord! It's the Lord of the Moor! It's great! Yeah! 5 out of 5. Next up we've got 2 Eeveelutions, and those are Espeon and Umbreon. First we're starting out with Espeon. Espeon evolves from Eevee with a high friendship and during daytime. Espeon is a purplish, pinkish Eeveelution. It has a forked tail that can sense its opponent's movement, so it always knows what's going to happen, which I think is great. It has a gem on its forehead which will amplify psychic power to prevent its trainer from harm, which I think is really adorable. Pokemon Platinum says, its fur is so sensitive it can sense minute shifts in the air and predict the weather. I think that's great, and apparently its fur is really soft and cute, and I just want to touch it. Espeon's name comes from ESP, which means extrasensory perception. It is kind of like your sixth sense, which I think is an awesome idea for the name. And then of course, we have the Eon that is in every Eeveelution. I think Espeon is great, and I give it 5 out of 5. But when you level your Eevee with high friendship during the night, it will evolve into Umbreon. Umbreon is kind of the dark version of these 2 Eeveelutions. I love Umbreon. I think it has great design. It just looks really cool. Umbreon has these yellow markings on its body that will glow in the dark and make people terrified, because things that are glowing in the dark are obviously fucking scary. So I get that. Another fun thing about Umbreon is that when it gets agitated, it will emit a sweat that is poisonous. A poisonous sweat. Ew. The Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire Dex says the following. Umbreon evolved as a result of exposure to the moon's waves. It hides silently in darkness and waits for its foes to make a move. The rings on its body glow when it leaps to attack. Rawr. Umbreon is actually the first Pokemon, aside from Mega Gyarados, that is a dark Pokemon in the national dex, which I think is really great. Umbreon's name comes from umbra, which is the Latin word for shadow or darkness or ghost, and also the name for a moon's silhouette during a solar eclipse, which I think is really cool. The Japanese name for Umbreon is Blackie, which is racist and weird. But you know, the Japanese were never really good at thinking of Eeveelution names. 5 out of 5. And that was it for today. I didn't cover that many today, but that's because of the Eeveelutions. They always take some time to explain or something. I don't even know. I'm sorry. Next week we'll have like a full episode again, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my latest videos somewhere here. I don't know where. Somewhere here in the blah blah blah. I will see you again next week.